What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled Changing Your Image Over Time. There were things when I was younger that I didn't understand about fashion, about life, about image, and staying true to myself. Also, I was so busy staying true to myself that I didn't realize that sometimes I put out a bad image of myself. And a lot of times people look at this stuff retroactively, because what you wind up looking at yourself through pictures and phases of your life, where you heard people say, why don't you try to, they tried to be nice and say, why don't you switch it up a little bit, or do this or do that. And you were so busy doing your own thing that you didn't take notice of how you made yourself look. Me, I'm a gym rat to a degree, so I dress like a gym rat. But you don't take that ideology everywhere when you put on clothes. Like prior to that, my grandmother used to tell me, there's a time and place for everything. And that includes your apparel, right? So when there's a time and place for everything, you have to dress like you got enough sense to know that there's a time and place for everything. And some of us have gotten too comfortable. And I remember being a gym rat and taking that mentality everywhere I would go. Even, it can make sense if somebody sees you leaving the gym, but just everywhere, not a good idea. Just like some people are bougie, you would say, and they overdress for everything. Sometimes some people who are overly bougie, sometimes they have to tone it down some. And it ain't necessarily because sometimes you dress to impress for every occasion, or dress to impress for no occasion, and you wind up putting yourself on the far end of the spectrum, realizing that you did too much. And what I mean by doing too much is when you get so comfortable in casual wear that you pull into somewhere and you realize you look like you don't belong because you're too casual. You don't take the place that all these people are going as seriously as they do. You can't network because you're too casual. Nobody knows you. They just know you as the person who's underdressed and seems to be uninformed. So now you got to work double time to charm your way in the conversations, because people are looking at you with the side eye like, who the heck is this? Sometimes when you overdress, you wind up in places that, I hate to say this, you be like, I hope they don't mess up my clothes, the way they underdressed and the way things are going, because people have a tendency, to act kind of like the image of the dress code in the area. So if you're dressed up here, you're dressed to the 9s and they to the 5s, they don't have a problem messing up your clothes. And they don't have a problem messing with your image. And they're not going to pay to fix whatever they mess up. So it's like, you might want to dial it down before you get upset because these people are not going to respect your code. The other thing about that is the way, our conversations. You never know who's listening when you're talking. And you could put out a bad first impression without even talking to a person, because they can hear you. And what I mean by that is some people are too loud everywhere they go. Too loud. And their loudness precedes them. Their attitude precedes them. if they're not a fun-loving person, if they're not good company, that precedes them. And that's a bad image to have when you go around, because you can't have a adult conversation with somebody who sounds like whose volume is so loud that they don't care that they're interrupting other people's conversations, and they don't care that they're privying everybody to their conversation. You know, that's a problem. You know, that attitude of I'm gonna just do what I want, say what I want, that's a problem. You know, and to me, I'm on the other side of that, because if I'm having fun, you know, I'm a fun-loving person, but there comes a point where tone it down. You know, we can have a laugh. Now, if it's hilarious and we all bust up laughing, that's cool. But I'm not finna be the one just all on all the time. No. At some point, calm down. May have spurts here and there, but not all day. Because I want to be on the lower end of the spectrum where I just want to talk to you. I want you to hear what I'm saying. You know, it's not important for the world to know what we're talking about. Whether it's hilarious or important or just unimportant. But it's how you carry yourself. You know, image in your taste. Your taste in clothes, your taste in food, your taste in drinks. If you do cigars, your taste in cigars. Your taste in your taste in jewelry, if you wear jewelry. It says a lot. You know, you gotta be careful about your image, because you know, I've seen people who were flashy and gaudy, and then they realize, you know, there are people who are just as flashy and just as gaudy, but they're wearing things that are out of your knowledge base, that are just as extravagant. And so they like nice things too, but they don't like nice things that everybody knows are nice things. The only people who are in the know, oh, I see you. You know, they're still gaudy, but only a few know how gaudy they could be. You know, like, and I've said this before, Rolexes are a world-renowned watch, but there are various luxury watches that rival Rolex, and Rolex are not on the level of various watches also. But that's the thing. If you don't know this, you don't know this. So you got to watch the image that you put yourself out there. And sometimes, you know, you got to watch your image as far as your intelligence and wisdom. Because sometimes you can be a man of few words and say something really poignant. And people go, okay, they like the way you think, because you can take something very complex and make it very simple for everybody to catch on to. So your intelligence says something about it. You need to pay attention to your intelligence, because if somebody's talking outside of your knowledge, out of your IQ, shut up and listen. It's okay to say, look, I'm soaking up knowledge right now because I never had these kind of conversations, so you're all intriguing me. It's okay to be not the brightest person in the room when it comes to particular subjects. Don't let that make you insecure. You know, because knowledge and information is power. But over time, you have to learn these things that, you know, you're not going to fit in everywhere, but you have to be comfortable in who you are, but you also have to be comfortable in other people's surroundings too. See, you can't just be in your comfort zone your whole life and be comfortable in your comfort zone, expect you to expand your horizons like that. So part of getting outside of your comfort zone is you have to pay attention to your image and how you come across and how you present yourself. You know, and as you get older, there's less room for error with this. You know, people are going to expect you to know you have to carry yourself a certain way in certain spaces. Nobody wants to hear your excuses. Nobody wants to hear that you have bad etiquette. Nobody wants to hear that you don't know how to have an adult conversation. Nobody wants to hear that you don't know how to dress for the occasion. You know, nobody wants to hear that. You get what I'm saying? So over time, pay attention to your image and pay attention to, you know, some of the people that you feel are successful. They're able to be what they need to be in the appropriate setting. Even if they don't, you know, they might not like to be that or put that image out of themselves. But if it's a black tie event and they don't like black tie events or black ties, they're not going to say, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do what I want. They're not going to do that. Because they understand they're not going to mess up everybody else's event because of their own selfishness. You know what I'm saying? So, like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.